going, guys? Welcome back to another video with myself and obviously the GT500. Been gone for a hot minute off the channel. It's currently being stored over here at my buddy's place. It's going to be a hot minute before I get back to it as well. I've had a course that I've been at that brought me back stateside for a little bit. Until then, though, we're about at the tail end of that. So you saw at the beginning of the year I dropped a video with the truck back there, which is doing good now. I can go ahead and give us some updates at the end of this video, what happened with that. And wanted to come down to North Carolina and mess around with the car a little bit as well. So did some maintenance, and I want to show you guys some mods that are in the future. Fortunately, it is pretty far in the future because I'm going to be gone for another 2 years. So I've got some time for sure. So kind of between now and then, like, the goal is to accumulate some more parts. And when we get back, see how motivated I am to mess with the car and start doing some better good stuff. So without further ado, let's get. So for those of you who don't know, this is my 2007 GT500, and it has been a while since it's been on the car, or since I've had it on the channel, I guess. So pretty much all that's going on. Knocked out some maintenance today. Good old Motorcraft 5W50 oil change. Messed around with the exhaust a little bit, and I did find a weird issue, which threw me off. Took it for a spin yesterday, and it kind of felt off. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, and I looked at my vacuum gauge and noticed, boost vacuum gauge, noticed it wasn't really moving, and it turns out the cap, which I'll show you in a minute, of the low vacuum bypass had come off. Really weird. So I'm going to play that clip for you guys real quick, and I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, so this little plug, really weird. Not factory Ford, aftermarket, but it goes in the back of that guy. If you can see that right there, just pops in, and it was sitting down at the bottom of the engine back there. Very surprising. I was like, huh, at least I found it. So yeah, no boost. As you guys saw, yeah, the cap was just basically off the backside of the supercharger, of the bypass. So big vacuum leak. Supercharger wasn't super happy, obviously. The car was kind of running weird, as it does with a vacuum leak. So got a new cap, put some JB weld on the back, and stuck it on there. So the way it works is L&M basically puts a hole in the back, pull out the spring of the factory bypass, and then puts that cap in there, and I guess it didn't seal. So not sure why that happened, but yeah, so it doesn't ever need to come out again once it's low vacuum. It's done, the spring's out, so it should be good. Yeah, so that's back to normal, and knocked out an oil change, and then kind of messed around with the exhaust a little bit. So one of the issues I didn't like with the Corsas was the whole, I thought it was like too raspy, so went to factory mufflers. Big fan of those. However, still didn't like the mid-range, so decided to get rid of the X pipe and put on an H pipe. So I'll go ahead and show you guys a little bit of that. So this is the old X pipe.
Don't put that on yet.
This is the X pipe cold start. This is the H pipe after install. And this is the H pipe cold start, obviously no exhaust. So it sounds pretty good. Put the stock mufflers back on. I think it sounds about the same, but we're gonna go for a drive in a little bit here and see how it sounds. But before then, I wanna show you guys some cool stuff we got going on. All right, so now you can see we got this nice Joker's Performance box right here. So that is because under here is the set of injectors. No, just kidding. We got a blower under there, but picked up some ID 1300s. So we're gonna go, the goal is to get E85 on this car, but when I get back, new fuel system, because the pumps, depressingly enough, this whole car is like 19 years old, almost that time of year, which will be turning 20. And yeah, 20-year-old fuel pumps and all that stuff just doesn't seem like the best idea to keep pushing my luck with. So ID 1300s, these things are not cheap, but they're here. And then under this box, we done did it, boys. Got ourselves a VMP Gen 3R. So the reason it's in a Joker's Performance box is it was rebuilt before I bought it. So it's got new bearings, cleaned up, everything's good to go. But yeah, guys, I wanted to show you this thing off. I mean, she is obviously massive. So yeah. Now, do I think I need this blower with this current setup? Probably not. But the plan is to do built bottom end when I get back as well, kind of pair it up with fuel system. And at that point, might as well. Got a pretty good deal on this sucker, about 2,500 bucks. Although that was before the Magnuson came out for $3,000 even. So back and forth on whether it was worth saving 500 bucks or getting the Magnuson. Yeah, pretty stoked about this, guys. So let me flip this thing over so you guys can take a look at the rotors and all that good stuff. Yeah, so this is it. So rotors all look pretty clean. Nothing too crazy going on in there. A little bit of dings, nothing too crazy. So should be good, feels good. The only defect is there is a missing guy right here. Nothing too bad. It's on the back corner, so it's not really too big. All these are the main torque spots. So we'll go ahead and kind of get that addressed at some point in the future. It does have a boost reference port right here. Probably not going to need it, but yeah, guys, I mean, that's it. So pretty freaking stoked. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm not going to be able to install this thing until I get back. I got the install kit from VMP, so it should be a pretty straightforward install. Nothing too crazy, but this paired with all the cooling mods and hopefully built bottom end, she'll be able to push some horse torques, that's for sure. So it'll be good. I also want to get in there, revisit my cams a little bit, and kind of just make sure everything's happy and kosher. But yeah, I think a refresh is probably due, and we'll pair it up with the blower. So like I said, in the process of collecting parts for old girl right here. Yeah, I figured I'd show you guys a quick little size comparison though. So obviously Gen 3R, VMP Gen 2, quite a bit wider. Definitely the back hole area is a big difference. So the VMP Gen 2R has this similar rounded style lip here. You can see where it goes indented back there on the Gen 2. So it should offer some better airflow on the inlet side. This does have the factory throttle body bolt pattern on it. So I'm just keep the monoblade, keep the GLT 123. And yeah, the only difference is mainly pulley size. We're gonna probably have to run a 2.8 to match what this is doing on the 2.6 and keep the same 10% lower, all the good stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is quite a bit bigger. We're gonna be pushing some boost for sure. So once we get bottom end built, which will be a whole series when I get back, I'm sure, it'll be pretty sweet. So yeah, that's about where I'm at with this thing. Pardon the dirty engine bay. She's definitely just, you know, sitting around not doing much. So it's gonna get a little dirty. To clean up the exterior, looks pretty good now, but yeah, that's that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and crank her up. I obviously stock exhaust back on, but might as well warm it up and make sure she's good to go, you know? Stuff. Don't worry about that. We just put air in the tires. I didn't realize how low they were when I was driving around yesterday. We'll reset itself in a minute. But yeah, all in all, still pretty clean, still pretty good. Shopping. What is crazy, that whole 20-year-old thing got me the other day. Like, after driving the 2016 F-150 around, manual steering feels heavy. Regular power steering, like, it's really starting to feel old, and that's crazy to me. Like, it really is crazy to me that it's starting to feel a little older. But it's getting there. It's crazy. It's held up well. It's just one of those things that kind of threw me off. Let's go listen to her in the back. this thing. It still feels good. I didn't bring the GoPro, so I don't really have a good way to get like any kind of action shots, if you will. But yeah, pretty stoked, guys. I just cleaned up a little bit. It feels good. I mean, I'll definitely say though, for a 20-year-old vehicle, it cleans up well. And
at the next stop sign, turn right.
Even more impressive is, like, if you want a raw car, it's hard to beat this thing, man. Got the horsepower, got the look. It's pretty awesome. Alright, boys, no camera mount, so I apologize. But we're gonna do a little run. Boys, that's gonna send it off. Got some nice pulls in. One last little chop sound. Oh man, boosting's rough. Definitely rough. Well guys, that's gonna go ahead and do it. So went ahead and got a chance to have fun with the car. Still doing pretty solid, so I'm gonna miss it for sure. I definitely miss driving this car a bunch. And you know, it is what it is, man. So we got the Gen 3R. I'm still waiting on, I did order fuel rails and a fuel hat from CPE. They have a 4-month back order, so they should be here pretty soon. I ordered those back in January. That's gonna start the fuel system stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and buy lines and all, and I need to buy a regulator and all the, and the actual pumps and all that other stuff. So we're definitely getting there, guys, and it should be pretty good. So let me know what you guys' thoughts are. I didn't really notice, to be honest, the difference between the H-pipe and the X-pipe. I think with louder exhaust, like the Corsas or something, it would be significantly more noticeable. That being said, I'm happy to do it. I think it sounded pretty dang good at Watt. You guys got to hear it with me, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I think when it comes time to go back to racing, I think we might just do muffler leads for the track and not mess around with exhaust, because I do know the stock ones are a little restrictive, and you know, any horsepower is good horsepower to hold on to. But yeah, that's really about it. So that's the update with the car. Obviously things are in progress, but I'm going to be headed back overseas, and I'll see this thing, hopefully not fully 2 years from now, but probably going to be 2 years by the time I actually get back. So it's pretty crazy to think about how long this stuff takes. But we're getting there. Definitely going to miss it, and keep gathering parts, and hopefully we'll have a real fun series when we get. That's going to do it, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, feel free to click like, subscribe. There's not going to be any content for a hot minute. I might do some stuff in Japan, but I'll be honest. So I guess I did forget 2 things. So first, minor truck update. It basically, somehow the truck learned E85 on regular gas. That was the major fuck up. So it's back to being normal now. Did do new injectors. That helped a lot. And a fuel pump. Got rid of some surging. So I know there's some underlying issues there, but it is feeling better. And then the other thing was the Japan stuff. So my original plan was to try and pick up something and then bring it back. Turns out over there, things that are close to 20, 25 years old, ready to be shipped back, are rough. So you either get a super clean thing that's in the 60 grand plus range, and it's just, to me, I don't like the cars that much, so it's not really worth it. Or you can get a crap box that's been through every minimum wage PFC out there up until it's time to go back, and they're pretty damn rough. And to be honest, I like my Mustang. Not a huge fan of the rice burners over there, so we'll call it a day. But thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video, whatever that may be. And, well, appreciate you following along. I'll see you guys in the next one.